everyone, how's it going? So, Spider-Man 2 is out. It's had controversies and high praise, but for the most part, it's a huge success. One of PlayStation's best first-party exclusive. Fantastic game. I like it. I did my review after 100% and everything, and I also did a video essay about Mary Jane, which is what we're talking about right now. So, Spider-Man 2 creative directors on Mary Jane. She's OP. I don't give an S word. I can't say that yet. I have to wait a little longer into the video, but yeah. In an interview with IGN, one of the senior creative directors working on Spider-Man 2 revealed some of the development directions behind MJ and her ability to one-shot the most OP characters in the game. Be warned, there are spoilers ahead concerning MJ's role in Spider-Man 2. If that's something you don't want ruined, then leave now. I mean, yeah. I don't give an S word. In the interview with Brian Ithatar, senior creative director at Insomniac Games, took a deep dive into the creation of Mary Jane and fleshing out her role in Spider-Man 2. He explained that they had straightforward choices: do it or not do it, which was about including her missions in the game where the player takes control of her. If you don't know, Mary Jane had stealth missions in the first game, and they were the worst part of the game. A lot of people didn't like them. Same thing for Miles' sneak-in missions. It was really just follow the direction, input the specific actions, and just distract the enemies with very basic stealth techniques. It was very boring, and a lot of people didn't like them. So with the sequel, they still included them, but I have argued this in my review, they made them way better. They're a lot more entertaining, easier to execute, and they're just overall superior to the original, but they also really paint Mary Jane in a bad light. At least that's what I argued in my video essay, but we're going to see that Mr. Ithatar says something different. They chose the former option and wrote out a series of missions for MJ, but in those, they made her rather OP, giving her the capabilities that made her strong character despite not having superpowers. This is how Ithatar explained it. Yeah, basically, she's able to one-shot hunters who are seen to go toe-to-toe with Spider-Man and Miles Morales, along with his greatest villains, including Venom. And she's also shown to be able to one-shot the symbiote parasites. I mean, there's already spoilers in this video, so yeah. So a lot of people, including myself, were just like, what the hell, why not just arm everyone with these types of devices? They can literally beat everyone in the entire game like this. And I get it. I argued with this in my essay. It's for gameplay purposes, but from a narrative perspective, because they show cutscenes of her one-shotting a lot of people, especially towards in the end of the game where the symbiote parasites are on the verge of taking over everything. She is one-shotting them. So I'm just like, why doesn't Miles or Spider-Man just reverse engineer that stun gun, create one, put it into their web shooters, and just, destroy Venom? Like, that's the thing I really have an issue with. It's the fact that it's within the game's cutscenes. If it wasn't in the cutscenes, I would have no problem with it. Gameplay is different from the actual cutscenes. Like in Yakuza, Kiryu can take a gunshot to the gut and stab people and use rocket launchers and all that within the gameplay, but within the actual cutscenes, like in Yakuza 2, when he gets stabbed, it actually is life-threatening. Or in Yakuza 5, he gets stabbed and he almost dies, because the gameplay is meant to be wacky, crazy, insanity, like Kiryu shooting a helicopter with a rocket launcher and no one dying. Like that type of insanity. But when it comes to the actual cutscenes, they ground them in reality, where if someone has a gun, it's very serious. When someone has a knife, it's very serious. So there's always that separation between the two, but in Marvel Spider-Man, they kind of didn't do that. They kind of combined it, and that's what I would argue as being the biggest issue there. We said we're going to make people like playing as her. We pick and choose our spots. We knew we had to make a choice of a proactive, capable person, and she's a little OP. I don't give a shit. She's fine. I don't care. I think the final phrase says that it's getting to him, because if he really didn't care, he wouldn't finish off like this. I think it is getting to him because you didn't really make her proactive and a capable person. You more or less made her as I would argue, a participation trophy. You gave her very overpowered tools and special treatment in order for her to be viable within the campaign. One of my biggest arguments in the criticisms about Mary Jane is the fact that she went into essentially a meet-in with Kraven the Hunter. In one of the scenes, Kraven tracks her down within the Hunter camp, and he doesn't kill her immediately, despite having no reason not to kill her. That's what I'm like saying. The cutscenes don't portray her as a strong, capable person. They portray her as someone who needs special treatment in order to maintain her viability. Like Kraven doesn't care. He will kill you without hesitation if you get into his way. He even shows that he doesn't care about his own family. He killed them, indirectly and directly. So why wouldn't he just like shoot Mary Jane, or just like stab her, or like break her neck like with one of his arms? He literally could have pulled a General Rom from Gears of War Ultimate Edition, where he just broke Cog's neck effortlessly without even caring. In this situation, that would be the same thing. So I think that the valid criticisms are starting to get to him, because in this case, you wouldn't say something like that if it wouldn't like bother you. Again, I like the game. I think it's fantastic, and from a narrative perspective, I did like Mary Jane, but from a gameplay, no, you guys gave her special treatment, and it's kind of insulting to the character of Mary Jane when you have to give her special treatment in order for her to be a viable option within the game. Unlike Silver Sable, who earned her keep. Like, she's an elite mercenary, she's trained her years, she's become very capable in holding her own against people like Spider-Man because of training and experience. She doesn't need special treatment, she can hold her own. And so MJ's Super Stunner was born and given the ability to one-tap enemies effectively. Further along in the interview, Ithiltar revealed that MJ's abilities almost surfaced in the first game, specifically in the sequence where she's trying to protect an injured Peter Parker and take control of his web shooters to fight enemies. That actually would have been cool. Like, that would have been a really good moment. Like, she actually has one of Spider-Man's web shooters, which, if you've played the game, they're extremely overpowered. Like, they've held up helicopters. In gameplay, they're basically one-shot kills. If you can knock down an enemy, just take them down and put them on the floor and then just web them up. So, yeah. Like, I don't agree with everything he said here, and I strongly believe, like, it's getting to him about the valid criticism surrounding MJ, because it's clear, like, they were really happy with the way she turned out, because she's in such a large part of the game's narrative. But at the same time, a lot of the criticism is valid. As I've stated in my essay, as I stated here, it's just the game. It's not the gameplay. It's the actual narrative that I have a problem with, where she, you know, one-shot symbiote parasites and shown the given special treatment when she's in the same cage as Kraven the Hunter, despite his reservations about not caring about anyone's life and just like killing anyone who gets in his way. So that would be my argument, but tell me what you think. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. I could be completely wrong in this. Like, I don't know him at a personal level. I've never talked to the guy. I could be completely wrong here. It's entirely possible. I'm just speaking based on his language and tone. I've seen the IGN short where he does go like, I don't give a shit. It's like, it's more or less sounds condescending, or at the same time meaningful in the way that he executes that phrase. Like, it's kind of one of those phrases where you say, yeah, I don't care, but you do care. You just want to dismiss the comment being thrown at you in the most quick way possible, so you say a phrase in order to dismiss it, like, I don't care, whatever, you do you, stuff like that, where it's just for you to try and end the conversation quickly without any type of meaning behind it. If you understand what I mean, I'm trying to convey it in the best way I can. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, dislike, tell me what you think, and yeah, that's it for me. Goodbye.